recognize the member from London West.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm pleased to rise on behalf of the people that I represent in London West to speak to the motion that was introduced today by the member from Haliburton, Kawartha Lakes, Brock. As our leader stated in her remarks, New Democrats will be supporting this motion. We believe that it provides a mechanism, a needed mechanism, to deal with the shocking incidents that have galvanized media and public attention over the past several months, including incidents of sexual assault on post-secondary campuses, charges of sexual assault laid against Jian Ghomeshi, and concerns about sexual harassment of female journalism students who were doing internships at Kew, sexual assault allegations made against federal MPs, a generous severance payment made to an Ontario Crown prosecutor accused of sexual harassment, revelations that a physician returned to practice after sexually assaulting 13 women, and another 21 Ontario doctors practicing with gender-based restrictions. As we approach the 25th anniversary of the Montreal Massacre, this list makes it feel like depressingly little has changed. However, given the debate that has been ignited in coffee shops and workplaces across Ontario, it also feels like a breakthrough is finally starting to happen. In order for it to become more than a feeling, we need to find a way to deal with these issues in a non-partisan manner, in a depoliticized way, in a way that allows for an honest appraisal of government policies and involves MPPs from all parties listening to women and men from diverse backgrounds and experiences, making recommendations about ending sexual violence and harassment in the workplace. NDP leader Andrea Horwath spoke about the amendments to the Occupational Health and Safety Act, Bill 168, that came directly out of the coroner's inquest into the murder of Windsor nurse Laurie DuPont. These changes had been proposed 5 years earlier by NDP leader Andrea Horwath in 2005 and 2007. When they were finally passed, they were heralded as the changes that were going to make Ontario workplaces free from violence and harassment. Under Bill 168, the prevention of domestic violence in the workplace became a legislated goal. To ensure that workplaces would be able to meet their obligations under the Act, funding was provided for the development of the Make It Our Business initiative at the Centre for Research and Education on Violence Against Women and Children, located at Western University in London. This Ontario-wide initiative recognized that most organizations, whether public, private, or not-for-profit, do not have in-house expertise for risk assessment and safety planning. Make It Our Business provides a gender-based lens that is critical to understanding violence against women and a legislative hammer to enable access to all Ontario workplaces. At the small London firm I was working for at the time, we took advantage of the Make It Our Business workplace training offered for staff and management. My male co-workers were stunned to learn of the prevalence of domestic violence in Ontario and Canada. The program was vitally important to shifting attitudes and raising awareness of the impact of words and actions at work, as well as the warning signs of a co-worker experiencing violence at home. Unfortunately, however, funding cuts and a change in ministry priorities have undermined the capacity of the program to deliver face-to-face workplace education. Those working at Make It Our Business describe it as another example of an investment made but not fully actualized. The fall newsletter of the Provincial Network of Violence Against Women Coordinating Committees states, again, a lack of commitment to prevention has left the program struggling to build the needed relationships between the violence against women sector and employers. That is why New Democrats support the motion today. As indicated in the 2013 report of the Auditor General, there is a need to move beyond non-committal expressions of support and set clear goals and timelines to address sexual violence and harassment. Yesterday's announcement of funding for women's shelters is welcome, but there is a need for concrete action on the part of government to embed violence prevention as an all-of-government priority. The government's willingness to push this issue aside is evident in the Cabinet Minister mandate letters that were released this fall. As pointed out by Southwestern Ontario Violence Against Women Coordinating Committees, the Ontario Women's Directorate is the only ministry charged with ensuring a gender lens. There is no mention of a gender lens in any other ministry letter, including the Ministry of Community and Social Services, which is directly responsible for women's shelters. There is no mention of a gender lens in any of the letters about affordable housing, employment, health services, childcare, issues that are critical for women's full and equal participation in Ontario, revealing that women's issues are as marginalized in government as they are in the community. Before I conclude, I want to say a few words in my role as critic for colleges and universities about sexual assault on post-secondary campuses. As our leader indicated, the statistics are alarming. And yet, despite the prevalence of sexual assault on Ontario campuses, only 4 out of 20 universities, Lakehead, Guelph, Brock, and Western, have created a special policy on sexual assault, and no Ontario college currently has a special policy. While we know that policy development is now underway, much more needs to be done. Every Ontario post-secondary student has a right to feel safe when they attend post-secondary education in Ontario, and every institution should have a clear policy on how allegations of sexual assault will be dealt with. More than that, a comprehensive review of how incidents of sexual assault are reported, investigated, and tracked on Ontario campuses is required in order to identify what improvements need to be made, with specialized training provided to all staff and faculty who are involved in all stages of the process. As a society, we simply cannot allow this level of sexual assault and sexual harassment to continue. We need real, concrete plans to end sexual assault and harassment against women in the workplace and in our communities. I congratulate the member from Haliburton, Kawartha Lakes, Brock for bringing this motion forward and look forward to implementing the recommendations that are made by the All-Party Select Committee. Thank you.